good morning. Now, Thursday is the day after Wednesday. And of course, it's the day just before Friday. It can either be the most productive day of the week or the slowest. So, it depends.
Everybody knows it's the day after, like Wednesday.
I just wanted to give the breakdown. So, it could be the slowest or it could be the most productive day of the week. It depends on how you start it. And as long as you started with us, hey.
Speaking of productive, we have two people in the kitchen that are just acting like they're productive.
Really?
But there's nothing going on there.
So I'm going to speak on behalf of myself and Mike here. We have zero tolerance for people like Yomi this morning. Wow. Yes, so we are too cool for school.
You know what I have to do?
You don't talk.
Mike, we're going to ask Mike to not say anything. Tokwe has spoken for both
I
of
am
them.
speaking on behalf of myself and Mike here. So Yomi, we have nothing to say to you for this hour. Talk to us in the second hour.
If you could taste this coffee that I brewed this morning,
Yomi has come.
you would be in another dimension. But
You know what? I think we need to tell people what's happening today. We have a great show prepared for you. Keep it locked with us till the very, very end. My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. We're streaming live right now, tvcentertainment.tv, and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
You can also send in comments, contributions, prayer messages. You can hate on us as well. Use our hashtag as long as you do. Wake Up Nigeria on
No
TVC.
hate, it's the season of love, so.
Trust me, there's some love-hate things, especially with this Valentine's thing we've been doing. People are expressing themselves very vocally on social
And I
media.
get on your app store on your device and search for TVC Connect. That's where our app is. You can download it and watch us from anywhere in the world.
And of course, we have quite a bit lined up, as I said earlier.
Yeah, we're gonna kick things off.
We have our first musical performance coming from talented singer Larry Classic.
Check it out. We have Cruzo, who's going to be performing another great musical performance for us today. Look at that. Looking serious, Mr. Cruzo.
On art display today, we have visual artist Mamos Isiebo joining us to share some of his works later on the show.
There's still more music coming. Sax Mule, I like that, is also coming for a third musical performance for us on the show.
We also, as always, have a book chat, and we're going to be switching things up today. Confidence Stavely, an information technology expert, will be joining us to talk about cybersecurity while we review her book titled No Go Fall My Girl. You don't want to miss this one, trust me.
I like that. And finally, we have singer, model, and reality TV star Tayo Fanira, who's going to be joining us for a chat this morning.
I have to say, Tayo looks very good in those pictures. I'm just saying, you know.
Say something. I would have wondered
just like,
if Titi was on this show.
Wow.
A day of
Come
not
on, you
talking
guys.
about
Could we
it
do
again.
that interview first, maybe, you know?
Wow.
We don't need to do the news.
Or is he in the
Let's
building?
invite him to,
Is he in the building already?
I think he might, I don't know. If he was in the building, I think I would know by now.
I'm sure you will know that.
No, but that guy hot, sha. Wait till you.
All right, so it's February.
Really?
Yeah, February, the month of love. And,
Moving on.
it is.
There's a lot that we're doing for our viewers.
No, I was just thinking ahead. So today I thought that this Friday was Valentine. So that's how progressive I am.
Like, wow.
So I'm progressive. I see weeks ahead.
Yeah.
So for me, 2020 started in February because January was just the month was just basketballs, just too many things. Like
a lot happened.
So just like the pressure and everything was just
And then
everybody was
February.
like, you have to start, and then somebody goes, so January has ended. What have you achieved?
Wow.
Calm down.
What have you achieved?
Calm down. You want to start planning for 2022.
But the plan is an achievement.
Look,
The plan is an achievement. Once you've locked down a plan and you know you have the means to
See,
activate
my dear,
that
if you
plan,
don't have
it's
a
an
plan,
achievement.
it's okay. You are alive. Just live, eat, breathe.
During the first week of January, I was sort of like in the daze because I was carrying so much, I carried over so much sleep, so much lack of sleep from December that I was, so I don't know, if anybody was productive in January, thumbs up to you.
Yeah.
Double
You were
thumbs up.
productive sleeping.
You know.
Yeah.
So maybe health-wise, something happen, you change the clock, you try to keep back. So at times, the things we don't see, we don't tend to thank God for it. I tell my sister a lot of times, when you complain about yourself, take some time and go and see how bad some people are having.
True.
You would thank God.
While we're in all that spirit, please, this Valentine, it's very important. You guys need to use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria, and you need to send your DMs for your pictures, your profile. If you're looking, shoot your short season. Don't be feeling like, I don't know, don't post we won't post it. It's very discreet. Just send your DMs, and you just might meet the love of your life.
So
it's a blind date.
a blind date, everyone. Yes. Not to worry, we got it covered. But Yomi also has the news covered.
Yes,
right
indeed. And we're going to be starting from Kaduna State, where bandits in Birnin Gwari have shot at a helicopter belonging to the Nigerian police. This happened on Wednesday while the personnel were on routine operations. So the helicopter has managed to return and land safely at the Air Force base in the state capital, but not without some issues. No life was lost, but bullet shots have hit one person who was on board. The said person, we have gathered, is battling injuries. Meanwhile, the police say they've dealt a cruel blow on the bandits. They claim to have killed over 250 high-profile members of the Ansaru terror group there. Authorities of the force say the helicopter which was shot has been flown to Abuja from the Kaduna Air Force Base. Now, they can't watch things get worse without doing the needful. And concerned about the deteriorating situation, a coalition of northern groups has unveiled what they call the Region Security Initiative, codenamed Shege Kafasa. They want it ratified by governors in the region as part of measures to address security challenges within the region. Correspondent Tesem Akende reports.
It has a lion as its signature. And already, the groups have constables on hand to drive home the initiative. We are Northern Nigeria Security. At this gathering at the popular Arewa House in Kaduna, they say kidnapping, armed banditry and other challenges are now associated with the region. The groups are prepared to fight against what has now become a trend.
The outfit, named Shege Kafasa, is designed to be the vanguard of the entire North, encompassing every ethnic group and religion, and to be deeply patriotic in its operation.
The Shege Kafasa initiative is expected to address several issues beyond insecurity. Other vices such as drug abuse are also scheduled to be tackled by the initiative.
CNG hereby 1. calls the attention of all governors of northern states to the urgent necessity to join their counterparts in the southwest and southeast by adopting and ratifying this initiative.
All the groups want now is for governors in the region to ratify the initiative. They believe this is needed to keep the region safe and have recruited constables who are combat ready. The days ahead will tell whether the call of the groups will be heeded by the governors in the region. The groups say the security challenges confronting northern Nigeria are many, and they say Shege Kafasa will help address the issues. Tesem Akende, TVC News, Kaduna.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwoolu has said there is no going back on the ban of commercial motorcycles, popularly known as Okada, and tricycles in some parts of the state. Since the enforcement of the ban began, there has been an outcry from some residents calling for a reversal of the restriction due to the hardship they are experiencing. But the governor is standing firm and says he will not be pressured to reverse his decision. Rather, he has gone on to provide 65 new buses to aid movement and also launch additional ferries to the fleet of the Lagos Ferry Service and a mobile application for waterways operations to ease the transportation challenges in the state. Residents of Lagos State will have to adapt to the new transportation policy and use alternatives provided by government. Outside Nigeria, the U.S. Senate has voted not to remove President Trump from office after a bitter impeachment trial. The U.S. president was first cleared on the abuse of power charge by 52 to 48. Then the second vote of obstruction of Congress was backed by 53 to 47. Republican Mitt Romney breaks party ranks to vote to convict Trump on abuse of power. The Senate impeachment trial of President Trump officially adjourned after senators acquitted Trump on both articles of impeachment. The Senate is now in recess until next week. Also outside Nigeria, 139 persons have been injured after a passenger plane skidded off the runway broke into three pieces on landing at the airport in Istanbul. The Pegasus Airlines jet was carrying 171 passengers and 6 crew members from Izmir province in the west when it crashed at Sabiha Koken Airport. Transport Minister Mehmet Kahit Turhan said the Boeing 737 failed to decelerate after a rough landing. The plane's fuselage had caught fire, but has since been extinguished with other passengers evacuated. Flights are being diverted after the accident, which the Transport Ministry says was caused by rough landing. Well, that's the news update for this hour. We're going to take a break after the weather forecast and then come back with sports. Mike, now today is Thursday, February 6th, 2020. We're starting with the Punch this morning.
And we have quite a few headlines on the cover of the Punch. This one screams at us here. It says, insecurity, can NSCIA clash? U.S. asks federal government to protect Nigerians. And then there are, of course, quotes from both CAN and NSCIA there. Northern groups unveil regional security outfit symbol of Operation Shege, Kafasa. It says here also, we killed 250 Ansaru terrorists in Kaduna forest, according to the police. Cult clashes claim 7 in Rivers, many injured. Olubadan talks tough, warns Ibadan, controversial monarchs. Moving on to the Okada ban, schoolgirl shot, Lasma police vehicles destroyed. And more on that story on pages 4 and 5. Moving to the top of the page here, it says subscribers may be restricted to 3 phone lines. Just 3? Sorry, just 3. It's only in Nigeria that you find people that have multiple phone lines. It also says here, Senate IG seek implementation of community policing on coronavirus. Our lives in danger. Nigerians in Wuhan cry out. Debt exceeds revenue in 36 states. FCT says FRC. And I'll wrap it with this one. Army begins court-martial of 9 soldiers in Sokoto. Page 9 has more on that. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch.
Yeah, we've got The Nation here. Chopper shot, 250 killed in police bandits forest battle. Pilots injured. Fighter jets hit by ISWAP members. Wow, that's the big story this morning. And then also, Jonathan fired me for probing oil racketeers, says ex-EFCC chair. Waziri exposes Aniyim's Akunyili's roles. Yaradua better in anti-graft fight. Okada ban, 34 held as police cyclists clash in Lagos. Kwara, Labour disagree. Can Islamic Council disagree on killings? Presidency warns. And Makinde seeks out-of-court settlement with sacked chairman. Igalo proud to be first Nigerian Man U player. And Nigerians to be barred from owning more than 3 SIM cards. And finally, inside, killings, Gbajabiamila, others worried over foreign influence. And that's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
All right, we have the Vanguard newspaper standing by for you as well. Declare security emergency now, NSCIA tells Buhari. Page 5 has more on this. With some writers here, it says, Nigeria on descent to anarchy. makes U-turn, accuses CAN leaders who staged prayer walk against insecurity of hypocrisy. Blame game. Moving on here, just above the masthead, it says Nigeria loses 0.522 billion in 28,349 oil spills. That is a lot of oil spills. 28,000 spills? Goodness me. Page 19 has more on that. On insecurity, it says, wake up to your jobs, IGP challenges governors. You aren't doing enough on insecurity, Gbajabiamila tells IGP service chiefs. I'll wrap with this one. Police file terrorism charges against Wadume, Army Captain, others. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
Yeah, let's check out the Nigerian Tribune. That'll be our final one for this hour. Police chopper shot, 250 bandits killed. Pilots injured, hospitalized. IGP lays insecurity challenges on governors. Think out of the box, Gbajabiamila tells security chiefs. Declare state of emergency on insecurity. NSCIA tells Buhari. Fire Aede substation. Fire at Aede substation. Power supply to Ibadan, Shagamu, Ijebu-Ode, and sharing others affected. And female student shot, policeman, others injured as Okada riders police clash in Lagos. Presidency to CAN. Buhari ready to pay ransom on Chibok girls if you find out why in the Tribune this morning. And northern groups form security outfit wants northern governor's ratification. 23-year-old boy stabs parents to death. Wow. Leaves sister half dead. That's a troubling story there. And Oyo to pay 30,000 minimum wage from January 1st. And yeah, that's what we have on the cover of the Nigerian Tribune this Thursday.
There are quite a few interesting headlines here, but we also have some interesting info on traffic. We'll be taking that after these messages. Hello and welcome back. It's about time for us to give you some tips on the best route for you this morning to get to your destination faster. Hopefully we give you the information you need right now, but we can always help out if you send other road users relevant traffic information reports on our social media pages. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC and hopefully we'll be able to back you up. Now I'm starting from Ajah area of Lagos heading east this morning. And as long as you're on the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway, heading towards Victoria Island, what I like to call the last bus stop of VI, Bonny Camp, if you're coming from Lekki, you're going to spend at least 1 hour, 10 minutes on the road. Major trouble spots, of course, are just after Ajah Market. That area is going to delay you for about 5 minutes, but not too much longer after that. Of course, by the time you get to VGC, you're going to slow down a bit at that junction, most likely just the traffic light giving you the delays we're talking about. Then, of course, the mega chicken turn, for some reason, is slow this morning. Now, I'm not sure what this particular bypass is. It does look like the Chevron alternative route that people are taking. As long as you take that, you have a 1 hour, 10-minute journey. But if, for instance, you decide to stay on the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway, it becomes a 1 hour, 25-minute journey. And that is after a lot of waiting just after the Chevron tollgate. So it's going to take you all the way down to where I like to call Tickle Bay. I don't know if it's still called, I think it's called Folix now. That particular area is just completely slow. All the way to, what road is this? Yeah, all the way down to Marwa bus stop. Now, of course, that particular roundabout is turning to something else. It's going to become a junction very soon. A very complicated one from the look of the map they put there. But it's a 20-minute delay just at that particular road. So just prepare yourself all the way from Agungi all the way down to Marwa bus stop. You're going to be there for quite a bit. After that, second roundabout slows you down for about 5 minutes, and then the Lekki toll gate does about 5 minutes as well. All in all, 1 hour, 10 minutes if you decide to take the Chevron alternative route. What the team have in the kitchen, I'm wondering, do you have any updates from social media?
I'm just trying to open up a few spots now to see what's happening. A number of people just complaining about walking. I'm looking at looking for new routes for the traffic in Lagos right now. Just 1 second. I don't know if Tokwe has anything.
So I don't have updates from Twitter, but I did check the Google Maps. And if you're going to start your journey from Ojodu Bega to CMS Central Park, you might want to start your journey from the Bega bus stop, and don't take the Third Mainland Bridge because it's quite blocked now. So you might want to go off at that Apapa Badagry, that route that takes you to Bagada Expressway. So yeah, that route that takes you to Bagada Expressway, that's better. Then you come down at Town Planning, connects to Ikorodu Road, take the Eco Bridge, the Ijora. There's little traffic there, but that's a lot better than taking Third Mainland Bridge at this point.
Yeah, I've got some updates here on Twitter. Traffic Chief NG. Somebody is complaining about Anthony. So Anthony bus stop. They didn't say whether it was Anthony OK or at the under the bridge, but it's quite busy. It's quite busy. She actually says, "Let us pray."
Wow.
And at 6:09, somebody said, "Oh yeah, okay." So I guess somebody else tweeted at 6:09 on the cause of the traffic at Anthony. There's a faulty container truck close to Anthony Bridge. So this is Anthony OK. When coming from Sanwoolu from Oshodi. The traffic is gradually building to the back. So this was at past 6, 21 minutes ago, and hopefully some work has been done in that area as well.
Okay.
Yeah, those are some of the updates that I have.
I have
somebody. Yes, just one last update. A 40-foot container crossed the road by Anthony. So that's the update. So Anthony is a major sore spot this morning when it comes to traffic because of a 40-foot container that seems to be blocking some parts of the road. Yeah.
All right. So I don't know what drew me down that particular road, but Akunwojo area seems to be very, very free right now, especially if, for instance, you decide to take Shasha Road. So Shasha Road all the way to Dokpemu Bridge is really, really free right now. And it's going to take you just about 30 minutes to get from there through Mongoro all the way to Ikeja along. And that should be some good news for some people who are just about to set out on the road. That's all we have time for on the traffic update as of right now. I'll be heading into the kitchen in a bit.
Okay. A few things I would have loved to talk about. Let's see how much time we have for them.
Yeah.
But let's kick off with the acquittal.
A few things in the news, yes.
A few things. Let's kick off with the acquittal. So accolades or congratulations are pouring in for President Trump.
President Trump.
Yeah.
Well, of course, we expected him to be acquitted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did?
Yeah. Everybody expected. Come on,
Everybody,
the
yeah.
Senate has the majority of Republicans and all that. And after Nancy Pelosi's stunt, you know.
Tearing his speech and everything.
Yeah.
So you know that she did that because Trump didn't shake her. So Trump goes up. There's Pence and Pelosi beside him or behind him, and he turns to present the State of the Union address, and it's in an envelope. He gives Mike Pence his. Mike Pence picks it. He gives to Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi has this lovely smile, like, okay, Trump, let's see. I know that you probably will be acquitted. Let's see if we can strap many verses. And then she goes to the hand. Trump just goes like this.
Yeah, but I feel like
the way he does it there, and then she just.
I feel like he didn't see it.
I feel like he didn't
see it. As much as Trump can like to be funny, I feel, honestly, because I watched it over and over and I'm like, maybe
Trump,
because he's a performer.
You know Trump with it? I feel that Trump even told her aides, tell her we shake her. Trump is that kind of person.
He's a performer.
He will tell her that. Tell her I will shake her. That's performance.
Yeah.
That's performance.
Yeah.
Tell her I will shake her, and then she goes, okay, pa.
Then
So, but you know, last year, this is what she did. So she had to do something. Something had to
Yeah.
happen. So
So-
we have like a series of things she did.
This is a
We're going to be
drama
wrapping up on that though because we have to talk about Valentine's.
Okay, Valentine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we're arranging a
Titi
blind
is
date.
getting love letters and what did she even say yesterday, Yomi? She said she wants people to write a handwritten on Valentine's Day.
Poetry. I said, what
Handwritten.
happened to the poetry?
No, you
what
must
happened?
Please
I
write
asked
Titi
what happened
handwritten.
to it.
You will get
I
handwritten.
asked why it's so. It's really interesting. So there's another. Okay, let's talk about love totem. I can't go into that story now. But love totems. We've been talking about quite a bit because there are as many symbolic expressions of love as there are people to love.
Yeah.
So for instance, you have apples. An apple is apparently a symbol of ecstasy, fertility, abundance, as well as love. Now, apple is also considered a testimony to the adage, big things or meanings, in this case, come in small packages. In Greek mythology, the apple serves as a prominent symbol of courtship.
So the apple is a love totem.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
It is.
Really?
Right.
And it's also said that Gaia, the primordial goddess of nature, gave apples to Hera during her wedding as a way to signify long-lasting love and an eternal union.
Ooh, okay.
So a lot of people didn't know that handing an apple over to someone
Don't
was
even try
considered.
me.
Yeah, and for those of you who think that,
Don't even try me.
for those of you who think that
Don't give me
Eve
no apple.
gave Adam an apple, it wasn't an apple.
Oh wow!
Why do you think
Tokwe might not be,
ready for that though. What did she
might
not give him?
Oh, don't. Let's not go there.
He could have, you know,
Did you really think it was an apple though?
It was an apple.
Okay.
Maybe
But wasn't it an apple?
Don't mind them.
But they said in the Bible.
They were there. Yeah, don't mind
You
them.
were there, Abi. You were Adamu and Eve.
She might not. I don't.
Wait.
No, don't give me that whole young thing.
No, I'm not saying.
My
I
Bible
said you might not be
teaches me
ready.
that it was
for
an
it.
apple.
So your Bible tells you that Eve took the apple,
And
ate
gave-
it, and gave the apple.
And when Adam ate the apple,
This is the fruit.
Yeah, it says the fruit. It's not an apple. It's
but wasn't
fruit.
it an apple?
It's a forbidden
So
fruit.
it could have been a mango. Or
Agbalumo.
How did I know it was apple?
You know that they used to crack, and when you finish eating it, what they call it
Yeah.
now? Almond. Is it almond?
You know what?
No, almond. No.
It's almond now.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm going to Google it. What
was
fruit?
just
You know
a-
what? Stop. Just stop.
It was just a
I
forbidden.
refuse to be humiliated on life.
You're not being
It was an
humiliated
apple,
though.
guys.
It could have been pumpkin.
No.
Anyway, it was a fruit, a forbidden fruit. So
Forbidden fruit.
It's
yeah.
forbidden. We
So
don't have it.
in Greek mythology, though, it was an
Yeah.
apple, or whatever they gave to Hera.
Yes.
There are other totems though. There are other totems. I'm not sure if we have time to go through all of them, but
Okay, so there's one Cupid or Eros. Oh, okay, they're the same.
Yes.
Yeah, they are.
Call it Cupid or Eros.
Greek.
Okay, means desire in Greek. According to history, Cupid is also known as Amor, which means love.
Yeah.
A different kind of love, though. In art, especially Roman paintings, the Cupid was often shown blindfolded. This was to symbolize how love is blind. Yeah, right.
can't relate.
Not in Nigeria. Cupid has a reputation for being a little crazy and random in shooting its arrows of love by design. Just shoot into somebody's heart. Whatever. This is symbolic of how love can strike in the most unexpected ways.
yes, so.
So you meet a 20-year-old girl
Yeah.
who says she's in love with a 70-year-old man.
Yeah.
It's not about the money, guys.
It's Cupid's fault.
It's Cupid.
Cupid. No, but I don't have. I think I'm totally for. Maybe I think it's some people's thing. I like older men because I feel like they would take care of you. They don't have this. You're my guy, but you know these young boys and they are too much energy.
I roll.
Too much energy. But you know,
Oh,
older
boy.
men are very
You feel
chilled
I'm young?
and
You think
so.
I'm young?
Oh wow.
Compared to your me.
Yeah, wow. Did you just say? You know what?
So
that
is
thing you just said.
the thing is-
Take care of me thing. I don't get that. I want to take care of myself. I got this.
Oh, I mean,
I'm
seriously,
I can
take
pay
care of
my
myself,
own
please.
bills.
Come and
I
I
can work.
refuse to take
I
care of
can
my
get
bills.
things done.
Take care of it.
What are you talking about? Take care of me.
Okay, so yeah,
Really?
so we're putting up.
If I elbow you.
But those are the
Hey.
totems we have time for
Yeah,
today.
so
though.
that's the totems we have the time for.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for that blind date, you're looking forward to meeting your significant other in
Yes.
2020, this might be the year for you. So send us
Send that DM.
Send us a DM
Yes.
with your details.
With your details, that's
Don't
your
be
name,
waiting.
your location, your age, and a picture of you, yeah?
Oh, don't be waiting for one nude tiny angel with two small
No,
wings.
shoot you. Shoot your shot.
Let's take this break and be right back. Yeah, do you see me like classical junior do it or something?
Good morning.
Like classic, how you doing?
Fine.
Why classic? You do classical songs or just how did the name come by?
Afro hip hop.
Afro hip hop. So the name Larry Classic, how did you come by it?
My name is Larry Johnson.
Oh, okay, so you
So-
just had to put classic,
Classic.
just to make it rhyme.
That's how we roll.
That's how it rolls. All right, take it away.
Well, hello, and welcome to the second hour of your #1 breakfast show on television.
That is it. It's right. It's starting right now for you if you're just tuning in. Now, there are as many symbolic expressions of love as there are people to love. Love symbols assist us in describing the often elusive emotion that consumes us when considering love itself.
Often elusive.
Elusive.
Love is all around us, though. Also, these symbols help us capture a small portion of what love means so that as we grow, our comprehension of love may also grow.
And if you haven't heard, we're offering you the chance to meet someone special through a blind date. You could just meet your soulmate right here on the show. You need to send in your name, location, age, and your picture. And you need to mention 3 love totems that have been mentioned right here on Wake Up Nigeria.
Yeah, we just took 2 of them
Yeah,
about 30 minutes ago, so go look for it. We still have 1 hour, 45 minutes on the show with you, so still much more to come, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yomi Owope.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Remember, we're live streaming. tvcentertainment.tv is the website, and of course, facebook.com/TVC Connect.
Yeah, send in your comments across our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
We also have an app available for download for Android and iOS. Now, this is a very nice app, I have to tell you. You can watch this show and many other great shows on TVC from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, and guess who we have in the building this morning?
Yeah.
Chef Nathaniel in the kitchen with Tokbe and
Mike.
pretending to be doing something in the
Yes.
He's so busy.
Yeah.
He'll attend to us shortly. But Chef Nathaniel has something interesting for us this morning. Tell us.
It's called Natido's Taco.
Natido's taco. So it's not just the regular taco, guys.
Yeah.
It's Natido's taco.
Natido's
There's something
taco.
special
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, I'm liking the colorful bell peppers there. Very nice. Looks good.
And Mike is there looking elusive, but that is some really interesting looking beef. Is that minced beef?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Minced beef and plantain.
Very nice. I like the look there. So we are going to the rest of the highlights that we have for this hour of the show. Very nice. A second musical performance, this time from Crusoe, coming with a band.
Mamos Isiebo is on our art display today. He's a visual artist who'll be joining us to share some of his works a little later on the show.
We still have more music coming your way, this time from Saximio, who's joining us for our third musical performance this Thursday.
We also have book chat today, and we're switching it up a little. We have Confidence Stavely on an information technology expert, and she'll be joining us to talk about cybersecurity while we review her book titled No Go For Magao. As we said earlier, you do not want to miss that one.
And to the joy and delight of Tokwe and Titi this morning, we have singer, model, and reality TV star Tyra Fanira joining us on the show.
I don't understand. I mean, why did you say talk? We all know that it's Titi.
Why?
The
Why?
joy and delight of talk. No
And
offense, brother
You
Tayo.
people better let me just do that interview by myself. Since Tokwe is not interested. Yes.
Oh boy.
I would like to
Oh,
say
sorry.
Tayo,
Now brother
hi.
Tayo.
I know he's watching.
Brother
Hi,
Tayo.
I
Tayo.
want to talk about Ojo Igalo. And but he had this dream. He always wanted. He always, you know. You see, talk about training, by the way.
Wow.
So Tope asked you a question. She had a previous interview with him, and she asked him about his dreams and where he would like to play and all that. Tope, tell us, don't do as if you're not here.
You know, back in the days when I was
not
still
that
in the
you're not
big
here.
girl life, you know, so I was traveling around the world,
Oh,
and I happened
boy.
to meet Ojo Igalo, and we had a quick interview in 2017, and I asked him his dream team as a kid, and he said Manchester United, and I'm like, okay, so if you're going to choose where you'd like to play now, where would you like to play? He said Manchester United, and then the tweets came, the interview, just that excerpts came up. And I was a star. I mean, just like you guys don't know who you're sitting with.
That
It's
is
okay.
nice.
We start for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Trended for 2
minute.
hours.
FYI, Manchester United's Twitter page retweeted that tweet. Have you got to
Wow.
Manchester United's
Really?
page? Oh, I have.
Oh, okay.
She's a star. She knows
Thank
what
you.
the point is.
Nice
Papa
one,
wakes up in the
Tokwe.
middle of the night and
Nice
she's
one.
looking for herself online, like
You
any kind of mention.
So the point.
No,
the
but
point,
if it's on Man U's page, that is a big deal.
Thank
So the point
you.
is
If it's
that,
on Man U's page,
so the point is
that's
that he had this dream and it has come to pass.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys, now, do you have these kind of dreams that you, or these imaginations that you know would never happen?
Yeah.
Does it happen to you?
Okay, so something happened to me in 2009 that I'll never forget. So I went for an audition for a TV show.
Yeah.
And I saw people at that audition that I knew when I was in school.
Okay.
And so it was like, I was meeting them for the first time, so I was really famsing.
Yeah.
But everybody knew everybody, like it was an industry thing. I was the only person that was not known there, but I got the job.
Woo!
So it was a big deal
Hallelujah.
because I felt like it was nothing that could happen for me.
Yeah.
So I just thought, okay, you know what? They're probably going to pick one of these famous faces anyway, but let me just do my thing and go. So I was the first person to do my audition and the first person to leave
Wow.
because they all knew each other. So, you know,
Like,
so
let's
it
start
was,
dreaming impossible
And
things.
honestly, I think they chose wisely, especially since we know how well you read the news.
That's a good segue there. Very nice. And we're starting the news today. Bandits in Birnin Gwari, that's in Kaduna State, have shot at a helicopter belonging to the Nigerian police. This happened on Wednesday while the personnel were on routine operations. The helicopter has managed to return and land safely at the air base in the state capital, but not without some issues. No life has been lost, but bullet shots have hit one person who was on board. The said person, we have gathered, is battling injuries. Meanwhile, the police say they've dealt a cruel blow on the bandits. They claim to have killed over 250 high-profile members of the Ansaru terror group there. Authorities of the force say the helicopter which was shot has been flown to Abuja from the Kaduna Air Force Base. Our Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwoolu, has said there is no going back on the ban on commercial motorcycles, popularly known as Okada, and tricycles in some parts of the state. Since the enforcement of the ban began, there has been an outcry from residents calling for a reversal of the restriction due to the hardship they were experiencing. But the governor is standing firm and says he will not be pressured to reverse his decision. Rather, he has gone on to provide 65 new buses to aid movement and also launch additional ferries to the fleet of the Lagos Ferry Service and a mobile application for waterways operations to ease the transportation challenges in the state. Residents of Lagos will have to adapt to the new transport policy and use alternatives provided by government. Now, in the last 10 years, Nigeria has witnessed several flooding disasters, and the activities of man had further compounded the degree and extent of the floods. This is despite several warnings from government agencies on proactive steps individuals and governments should take to cushion the effect of nature's rage. But alas, many of these warnings have fallen on deaf ears, forcing people to bear the brunt of the floods. This year again, the Nigeria Hydrological Service Agency, NISA, has predicted that there would be greater flooding and that Nigerians should make adequate preparation against the rainy season so as to avoid past recurrences. According to the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, a predicted onset of rainfall should be between February ending and June, while predicted cessation dates are December and September. This implies that Nigeria is likely to experience longer period of rains in 2020 compared to the year 2019. The coronavirus outbreak has killed more than 560 people and infected over 28,000, the vast majority in China. Outside mainland China, it has spread to over 25 countries and territories, infecting over 250 people and killed 2 people. Thousands of people are being quarantined on 2 cruise ships docked in Japan and Hong Kong after former passengers were confirmed to have the virus. Countries are taking emergency action to stop the coronavirus, but these measures are also hitting shipping companies hard and threatening to disrupt global supply chains. Well, that's it on the news update for this hour.
And we're in the kitchen now. After that workout, we need to know how we're going to, fill our empty bellies. And who better to give us some insight than Chef Nathaniel?
Yeah.
You've grown on us at Wake Up Nigeria, sure you know.
Yeah, sure.
You've grown like
we're not family.
Yes, we are. How's Momsi? How's she doing?
Yeah, she's fine. She's even around.
She's around?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
She
Yeah,
can.
Momsi is around.
Yeah. She's
Meaning
my
that
number one
this food is
fan.
going to be extra special today.
Sure.
So what are we making?
So today we're making Natido's taco.
Natido's taco.
Yeah, my specialty. So we're making use of taco shells,
Okay.
tomato paste, we have lemon, olive oil, plantain, egg, milk. We have mixed spices, we have salt, soya spice, taco seasoning, garlic, onions, plantain, and
Mincemeat. Is this mincemeat any special type of mincemeat, or is it just normal beef?
Just normal beef.
Okay.
Don't really need
Did you
much.
mince it yourself, or you bought it?
No, I just bought it like this, so I'm just going to season it before.
Okay. Aha. So what's the first thing we do?
We're going to first fry this. Yeah, so
Okay.
we're going to add some seasoning.
Seasoning to the minced
Yes.
beef. Okay.
Just to spice it up.
That looks like a lot of beef, and the seasoning doesn't look that much. Is there a reason why you're
No,
not
we're
using
going.
that
I
much?
just poured little.
Okay.
So you're gonna add.
You're gonna
to
add a
it.
little.
Just. I'm gonna add little egg to it,
Okay.
just to make it a little bit soft. Just add milk.
So milk and egg soften minced beef.
Not necessarily milk, but egg.
Okay.
But I like adding milk to egg to make it a
Now,
bit
if you
creamy.
missed it, on your screen coming up now, we have the list of ingredients for you. And as you can see, he's working on the meat now. But I can tell you that the list of ingredients are garlic, lemon, tomato, cilantro, plantain, bell peppers, vegetable oil, onions, tortilla chips, cinnamon, soya spice, minced meat, and other mixed spices.
Yeah, so just gonna.
So my favorite parts of this particular menu are the plantain part, the minced beef
Yes.
part. Everything just looks really good. These tortilla chips, though, where did you get them from? You didn't make these?
No, I
You
didn't
bought
make
them?
it. Yeah, I bought it at the mall.
Okay, so you can find these anywhere.
Yes. Although it's not anywhere actually, but
okay.
a particular place I got it from. Yeah.
Okay. So if I didn't have tortilla chips,
If
what
you
could
don't
I
have it, you
use?
can use the normal tortilla bread.
Okay, like
Yes.
that's shawarma bread?
Yes, you can use, but this one is more traditional for taco.
All right.
But in case, because it's not really everywhere, it's not really common, so in case you don't see it, you can just add
So
that.
in case you missed it, he's poured a little bit of the egg in there, right?
Yes.
Okay, a little bit of the egg in there.
Then-
He mixed the egg with the milk, and the pan is warming up. And as it warms up and we get set to make this happen, we're going to be taking a quick break. This is Wake Up Nigeria, and you have no reason to change the channel.
Same stage with mega artists like Whiskey, Davido, Asha. Now he owns a band called The Cruisers, and yeah, Cruzo, The Cruisers.
Yes,
you found a way to make it right.
Yeah, it has to be.
Well, okay, so what does the band do? Tell us about your band, The Cruisers.
My style of music, my genre of music is called reggae fusion.
Reggae fusion. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not something you can always do in the studio. It's something you can still do outside of it.
Outside of the studio.
So like I love live performances.
Okay.
So they are part of my church members and they are the same choir with me. So I just develop them and we come out with something.
Was it because of a love for the art, or you were looking at ways to probably make some money or something?
It's more for the love of them because music is me.
Okay.
The music is my life, and that was the only way I knew I could channel what I love to do.
What you love doing.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And giving back and all, I'll put that together.
Yes,
But
sir.
professionally, as a musician, how's the journey been for you?
Really, really tough. Yes, really.
It can be. It's
Yeah,
a very,
I have to
the
be.
industry is a hard one. It's not forgiving.
Yeah. But I just believe it's like a stepping stone too. So I'm just looking at the brighter side of it.
Good.
Yeah,
I would say you're starting on the right foot because you have a love for what you do, and
Yes,
I guess
sir.
that's what will push you through.
Amen.
All right, so take it away this morning. All right?
Thank you. Let's do it.
Many come my way. Girl, I'm happy for today. My belly people run away. I just wanna live my life in peace. I know one enemy flying around the overseas.
Thank you so much. That was really amazing to listen to this morning. Well, with me on the sofa this morning, I have Mamus Esebo. Now, he is a self-taught visual artist and graphic designer. He's going to be showing us some of his works. Now, his paintings have a mix of bright colors, giving off the vital energy that brings a sense of optimism at first sight. Now, what do you have to share with us today?
Yeah, I'm here to talk about my art generally.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm a graphic designer. I'm a contemporary digital artist.
Yeah, so now this is the first I'm hearing of a digital artist.
Yeah. Digital artists that paint with maybe computer,
Okay.
that achieve his idea or art with computer, instead of using usual, normally.
Pencils and the rest.
Yeah, so I paint with computer, system, laptop, and the rest.
Okay, so now apart from painting the computers and systems, can you paint like the normal sketches?
Yeah,
and the
I
rest?
do that once
So
in a while.
what made you pick interest in the digital art?
Because I was a graphic designer, so I
okay.
stumbled into art. That was 2015.
Okay.
I love art, but then I can't draw. So I needed something
okay.
to tell my story.
Okay.
So I came up with this idea of drawing on my laptop because I'm used to sketching, like drawing logos and the rest. So I needed
Yes.
something more. So I came up with that idea. That is icon.
That's right. Okay, so let's quickly have a look at some of these. Now, this is really interesting, not because you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
Not because it's you, but I really like it. And I would like to know now, you said to tell your story.
Yeah,
so when
yeah.
you were creating this, what inspired this design?
Like the African woman actually inspired this work.
Yeah.
Talk about the womanhood.
Okay.
Yes, you can see there's a lady at the top of the head.
Yes.
We talk about the growth of a lady from being a teenager,
Yeah.
you know, to adulthood.
Adulthood.
So it talks, yeah.
So now, how were you able to achieve all this?
Yeah, it's the idea I came up with. I needed something to come like that. You see, there are some alphabet there, as you can see. There's E and there's
Yes, I can see
yeah.
E.
So
can
I
see
came
E.
up with all these are just inspiration. Let me say from God, you know, because it's not something I planned for.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
comes
Yeah,
naturally.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, this is something, I remember while we were giving your bio, you said something about bright colors.
Yeah, like something pop.
Yes,
Yeah.
and this is a real popping.
Yeah, thank you.
This is
thank
really popping.
Thank
so now,
you.
what is the story behind this?
This talk about the love of a mother. There's a girl over there. Talk about the compassion, the love of a mother to a daughter.
Oh, okay.
Talks about the compassion. Oh, my daughter is the title of that work.
Oh,
Talk about the
compassion
love. Yeah, of a mother. You can see the embrace.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
this
yeah.
is like a baby.
Yeah,
here.
like a girl.
Oh,
a girl child with
okay.
the mother. Yeah, talk about that divine connection between mother, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but are you more about making art to talk about women? Because
No, yeah, I talk about any other thing, like ideas that come to my head, you know. 'Cause women are a great part of our life.
Of course,
so you have
we
to
are.
celebrate them. So you have to celebrate them, you know.
Yeah.
So I talk about other things, but most especially I talk about the women, and that was it, just to celebrate them more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, how has the reception been from the public as regards your type of art?
Yeah. Thank God so far. People love it, especially the colorful aspect
colourful
of it,
ones,
So people that know my story from the beginning, they were like, wow, you are trying, we love your work, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, people from outside Nigeria, they contact me from, So thank God so far, we are still growing,
Yes, there was one that piqued my interest, the one that I can relate to.
Yeah.
I have to find it.
Okay.
We have to name this one the Tokwe Art.
Okay, yeah.
Because this is me,
Yeah,
in our
yeah.
African hair.
Yeah.
Can you all see this? This is so Tokwe right now.
Thank you.
So please, what are we calling this?
Yeah, this
The
is
Tokwe
Africa
art.
hair. Talk about the woman hair, the pride,
Yeah.
my hair, my pride.
Yeah.
The woman hair plays significant role in the African society. In olden days, the hair used to signify, like, it's an identity of a woman.
Yeah.
Talk about the culture, marriage, religion, tradition,
True.
The hair, so it plays significant role. So I came up with this idea of, okay, let me speak about the Africa hair, because these days people don't do this kind of hair anymore. So I'm trying to bring
have it on my head.
it wasn't. So I'm trying to bring that Africa vibe back.
Yeah.
I want people to relate to Africa hairstyle, not this Brazilian, you know what I mean? So that's it. So that's the concept about it.
Now, speaking about how it is in the market, I know people are more receptive to art now, but this is digital art.
Yeah.
Now, how do you, if someone meets you that, I want a painting of myself, is that something you can achieve, or you're just more abstract?
Not really. I can shift that. Give me the picture you want. I can sketch it on my laptop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really great.
Yeah. So, can
So do you have, are you working on an exhibition to display your work?
Yeah, I've done some exhibition in the past. That was 2018 in London, 2019 in London as well. But I'm still working on something in Nigeria here. The art industry is very kind of competitive in Nigeria.
Okay.
And it involves a lot of cash, money.
Yeah, it does, it does.
So we are still growing. But I pray this year, I'm putting things together just to make sure I put...
2020, the money year.
Amen.
So now, can you just tell us about the creative process? Like when you want to come up with something like, for example, this.
Okay.
What is the creative process behind the transmission breaking?
Yeah, first and foremost is the idea.
Okay.
The idea needs to come. After the idea, what next? I need to put the idea into paper, not to forget.
Okay, not even to the system yet.
No. First of all, you need to put the idea. You need to be clear of the idea of what you are talking about. So when the idea pops up, the first time I put it on the paper, and I think of, okay, what do I do?
Yeah.
I start sketching on my system. I already have the idea on my head already.
What you're doing.
Yeah, so that's it.
Also, you have the idea, you put it to paper. What about times where you feel like, okay, I haven't worked in a while, I haven't done anything. How do you source for inspiration?
Yeah, I look other people's work.
Oh,
I go online, see what other people are doing, get some inspiration, because you can't do this, or you need other ideas, understand? Okay. So at times I go online, look for ideas, look for other people's work, to inspire me. Not that I will create their work, but I need something, inspiration to push me, understand, to do more.
Oh,
so that's how the idea comes sometimes.
So now, I remember in the beginning of our conversation, you mentioned that you were a graphic designer. So are you into digital art?
Yeah, I moved into digital art. That was 2015. I needed something to talk about my story. Like, I needed something more creative, something more artistic.
Yeah.
I needed to say, okay, I need to tell my story. Designing a logo cannot tell my story.
True.
You understand? Flyer cannot tell my story. So I came up, I prayed about it, to be honest. I said, God, I needed this. I want to be identified with something.
Something, yeah.
Understand? So the idea came, the inspiration came. God brought the inspiration, not me. I never planned for it. I stumbled into it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And see you now.
Yeah, thank
really
God.
impressive.
Thank God.
Oh, thank you so much. And for people out there, he is a digital artist, super impressive. This is the first time I am seeing of a digital artist, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming to Wake Up Nigeria. Now, so much more happens on the show. You do not want to go anywhere. We will be right back shortly.
Welcome back to the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen. Chef Nathaniel has been doing his thing very nicely, might I add. And we're making Natido's tacos. Yeah. If you missed the menu earlier on, let's give you a little insight into the ingredients he's using today one more time. As you can see, he's hard at work making things happen, but you need to know the ingredients if you're going to try this at home. So we have, of course, we have our minced beef, we have plantain, we have peppers, we have tomatoes. everything you need to make a tasty natido taco is going to be shown to you in just a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, let me take it one more time. Garlic, lemon, tomato, cilantro, plantain, bell peppers, vegetable oil, onions, tortilla. Yeah, it's tortilla, not tortilla. Yeah.
Tortilla.
Cinnamon, suya spice, minced meat, and mixed spices. Those are your mixed spices that you like to keep coded.
Yeah,
You tell us these spices.
it's actually different, except you want me to mention the brand,
You
which I
don't
can't.
want to expose your
So-
secret, have you? It's okay, it's fine. All of them now. But what are you doing right now?
So I want to fry the egg, but I'll first, because I want to make it to look like salsa, like all this egg sauce.
Okay.
So we have the vegetables and the onions and garlic
Yeah, so
in
that's
there.
the bell peppers, the
Yes.
tomatoes, with some garlic and
And
onion.
onions. So we're gonna toss in the tomato paste.
Tomato paste or
Yes.
puree.
Or puree.
I noted that there's no water in this at all. There's no.
It's just because we are going to use egg, so we don't want much
Moisture,
oil
okay.
and okay, so just
All right then. So this was fried for a little while. I'm talking about the
Yes.
minced beef. But I also noted that you didn't put that much spice in the minced beef. Any particular reason?
well, just for the taste of, since I'm not doing it for myself, people have different taste levels, and you don't want a situation whereby you finish cooking and the person else says there's too much of. So
Okay.
just add little.
All right. So can you tell us what's going to happen after that salsa is ready?
So after that, we're going to toss in the egg, and I like to fry. Then once we're done, we're going to fry our plantain.
I was going to ask about this plantain because for some reason, Natido cuisine always has plantain in the meal.
Yes, because most of these dishes are inspiration from other cultures.
Okay.
Like this one is a typical Mexican dish, so I'm incorporating some of Nigerian dishes ingredients. So that I like using
All right.
plantain most of the time.
Okay. I have to say, everything smells good. I have no idea what you're going to use the lemon for, though.
It's just for seasoning. Once we are done, just to toss it, because lemon is typical for taco.
Oh.
So just to give it that little bit of sour.
Okay.
taste.
Okay, so it's the juice, or you're going to
Yes.
slice it? Or?
No, just to slice it and just sprinkle.
All right,
So,
all right, all right. Chef Nathaniel always has a way of giving us something interesting
So
to try out,
this is
especially over the weekend. And
Yeah.
they're very simple ideas that you probably have all these ingredients in your house and don't even know what to
Yes.
do with them.
Except this.
Aha, except the tortilla. But I have a feeling if you have ordinary bread, you can do this.
I've actually tried it, but you know there's some kind of dishes that you don't just remove the major ingredients.
Okay.
To make it just different, and you'll not really enjoy it.
All right,
So
tomato
just-
puree, egg in one pan. This is new to me. But let's go, let's go. I'm learning, I'm learning.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
learning.
why it is Wake Up Nigeria.
Learning something
Learn
fresh
something
and
new.
new all the time on Wake Up Nigeria. And Chef Nathaniel, we're in good hands whenever he's here, so I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. I know it's going to be ready, it's going to be on time, and it's going to be tasty.
So a quick reminder, I'm launching out my online restaurant soon,
Oh.
March 2nd, and I'm doing a countdown little by little.
Oh,
Get set.
on
So,
your handle on
yes,
Instagram, yeah?
Natido's Cuisine. So all these dishes that you see here, you have the privilege to
All
get
right.
for yourself.
I can only imagine. So let's
can
head
only
over to the
imagine.
garden. It's time for some music, people. It's time for some music.
Well, welcome to the outdoors. This is where it happens on Thursdays, where we bring you live performances from some of the best groups here in Lagos. I've got the Sax Mule band here, and Mr. Samuel himself on the sax, and Abby here, who's on this
Sampler, drum sampler.
a drum sampler.
Yeah.
A drum sampler, that's what it is. And I've got Esino on keys doing his thing. Say just big shout out to those at home. That's Esino there. And Femi on the talking drums. Yeah, that's sending out greetings with his talking drums there. So it's really nice. You guys have been a group for how long?
Over a decade now. Been
Over a
together.
decade,
Yes,
you
I
guys
did.
have been
Yeah,
together.
yes, I did.
And it's amazing. You guys do weddings, you do
Yeah,
live performances.
different
and-
genre of music. You know, concert, wedding, housewarming, and events.
Very
and stuff
nice,
like
very
that.
nice. So big events, small events, anyone you call, they call
this,
you for.
This is what we do. This is what we do.
This is
our
what
work.
you do.
Yes.
I love it. But so you guys rehearse like how many times a week?
Yeah, we rehearse 3 times in a week.
3 times in a week.
Yeah.
So does the band get bigger sometimes, or is
Oh,
this,
definitely.
is this,
Yes.
okay.
No. We have a larger band. So,
Oh, a larger
It
band.
depends on what the client wants.
Yeah,
If you want
so
a
if-
one-man band, if you want a full band, definitely we are
Okay,
here
so,
to give
so
it to
like for instance, you have like singers, lead singers,
Yeah,
and things like
definitely.
that that
Yeah.
join you sometimes.
Yeah,
a
we have
few times.
singers, exactly.
That's very good. I mean, I saw you guys rehearsing just now, and
Yeah.
the synergy is really, really strong.
Exactly. That's
you guys
kind
do
of-
jazz as well,
We
because
play
I love
jazz. We play, in fact, that is one of our favorite kind of music that
Yeah.
we play.
Okay, so you guys are going to be doing a mixture of things.
Mix
for us
of,
today.
yeah,
Talk to us
jazz,
about what this
alive,
is going to be like. A little bit of jazz, a little bit of high life.
life, then a little bit of gospel.
A little bit of gospel as
Yes,
well. Okay,
exactly,
so yeah, I guess maybe you heard that I like gospel music.
Yes.
So, so I'm going to be stepping out of the way for you now, so that you can give us one of your special performances. And these guys are the Sax Mule band doing something special for us this Thursday. Well, it's 2 hours gone by, but we still have 45 minutes left to share with you today.
Welcome to the third hour of the show. And if you're just tuning in, you probably caught the love bug by now. Cupid is still on the prowl.
Cupid on the prowl.
Oh, it's actually more of an arrow, not a growl. Cupid is all soft and cuddly, right? But it's a perfect representation of how love can strike in the most unexpected of ways.
Yeah, so now you have a chance to meet someone special this month of February through a blind date here on the show, believe it or not. All you need to do is send in your name, location, age, and photograph. And you will also mention 3 love totems that have been spoken about on the show.
Yes, please do as soon as you can. My name is Titilayo Onyison.
And I'm Yomi Ope. Get online right now. We are at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Send in those comments, suggestions, prayer messages. Send in a funny picture. We would love to hear from you. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
And search on your app store. You will find the TVC Connect app that allows you to watch us from anywhere you are.
Yes, sir. We still have quite a bit happening on the show. We have book chat still coming up and something special this time. Confidence Stavely, an information technology expert, will be talking about cybersecurity while we review her book titled No Go For Magal. And of course, you do not want to miss that one.
And finally, we have actor, model, and reality TV star Tayo Fanua joining us on the show this morning.
You were the very first breath I ever took in my life. And I wish I pray every day make you be mine.
So I was watching a music performance where, I can't remember who it was, Chris Brown or one of these boys, took off his shirt and threw it in the crowd, and everybody was screaming and they grabbed it and all of that. So there was a time in Unilag where so a popular musician came, popular at the time, and he took off his shirt while he was performing and threw it in the crowd, and everybody
dodged the shirt.
You know, you have to be careful when all the things you see on Yankee, don't do it. Like it was super.
Because he was sweating. He was sweating.
You saw Super Bowl now. You saw Super Bowl. So it was part of the performance. It was choreographed part of the performance, and then it was Shakira. Shakira goes into the crowd and she falls down.
She did that. She
and
just fell into the crowd.
they just carry her within.
Those things now.
Okay, so the guys in front.
See, that's what I'm saying now. They do your kid. Let the video of Whiskey just say they want to do that thing. They will seize him. Forget the plan. Okay, so they do. Okay. Let's go. You know, so by the time the video is out of that place, so his chain,
everything would have gone.
His chain, like 2 weekends ago I was at an event and Davido was performing. So people were trying to get his hands, and also this guy just, luckily for him, was able to grab Davido's hand. You see when Davido looked at him, this guy, if you pull my chain. The reaction was so natural.
Yes, now, sure now.
He had the chain on. The reaction was so natural. I said, better leave my chain before
It depends on the concert. In Lagos, you can't just, go frolicking with the crowd because, it's really, really dangerous.
It is.
Because
it is.
Once the crowd covers you, your Rolex, everything is gone.
Everything is gone.
Think about your life.
But the thing is, those things are actually planned. People don't know it's planned. There are probably like some bouncers standing right there to collect the person and monitor, but if you go try yourself.
I see some people just come, let's plan, let's monitor. Okay. We'll check monitor. Let's be going.
So the people that carried Shakira were part of
the audience.
No, was it the audience?
No, it was the audience. So I feel like she said, it could have been planned. I think it was
because
planned.
It was very
uniform.
Yeah.
It was smooth. So it was, but she got into the crowd and just...
And she just fell off the stage very naturally. I was like, okay.
She was giving us some leg go, some steps, some leg walk. Nice ankle things there.
My days.
It was a great performance.
Yeah.
Amazing
It was
stuff.
a great performance.
And those women, one of them is like over 45, one of them is 50. Like, man, I want to be like you when I grow up. Maybe I should start doing some Shakira moves and all that. I don't know.
Try not to break your waist.
Yeah.
I'm Ojelo, those ladies.
She really gave
So when both of them just turn together, Jelo just say, I am the mama of this team, Shakira, calm down. Jelo is what? For 50?
50.
Shakira is what, 43, 44? Oh, man. Great ladies, I must say.
Anyway, we have to take the news now. And bandits in Birnin Gwari in Kaduna State have shot at a helicopter belonging to the Nigerian police. This happened on Wednesday while the personnel were on routine operations. The helicopter has managed to return and land safely at the air base in the state capital, but not without some issues. No life has been lost, but bullet shots have hit one person who was on board. The said person, we have gathered, is battling some injuries. Meanwhile, the police say they've dealt a crow blow on the bandits. They claim to have killed over 250 high-profile members of the Ansaru terror group there. Authorities of the force say the helicopter which was shot has been flown to Abuja from the Kaduna Air Force Base. Now in Lagos State, the governor, Babajide Sanwoolu, has said there is no going back on the ban on commercial motorcycles, popularly known as Okada, and tricycles in some parts of the state. Since the enforcement of the ban began, there has been an outcry from some residents calling for a reversal of the restriction due to the hardship that they are experiencing. While the governor is standing firm and says he will not be pressured to reverse his decision. Rather, he has gone on to provide 65 new buses to aid movement and also launched additional ferries to the fleet of the Lagos Ferry Service and a mobile application for waterways operations to ease the transportation challenges in the state. Residents of Lagos State will have to adapt to the new transport policy and use alternatives provided by government. Now, in the last 10 years, Nigeria has witnessed several flooding disasters, and the activities of man have compounded the degree and extent of the floods. This is despite several warnings from government agencies on proactive steps individuals and governments should take to cushion the effects of nature's rage. But alas, many of these warnings have fallen on deaf ears as people have begun to bear the brunt of the floods. This year again, the Nigeria Hydrological Service Agency, NISA, has predicted that there would be greater flooding and that Nigerians should make adequate preparation against the rainy season so as to avoid past recurrence. According to the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, predicted onset of rainfall should be between February ending and June, while predicted cessation dates are December and September. This implies that Nigeria is likely to experience longer periods of rains in 2020 compared with 2019. Outside Nigeria, the U.S. Senate has voted not to remove President Trump from office after a bitter impeachment trial. The U.S. president was first cleared on abuse of power charge by 52 to 48. Then the second vote on obstruction of justice of Congress was backed by 53 to 47. Republican Mitt Romney broke party ranks to vote to convict Trump on abuse of power. The Senate impeachment trial of Trump officially adjourned after senators acquitted Trump on both articles of the impeachment. The Senate is now in recess until next week. Also outside Nigeria, 139 persons have been injured after a passenger plane skidded off the runway and broke into 3 pieces on landing at an airport in Istanbul. The Pegasus Airlines jet was carrying 171 passengers and 6 crew members from Izmir province in the west, and it crashed at Sabiha Gökçen Airport. Transport Minister Mehmet Kahit Turhan said the Boeing 737 failed to decelerate after a rough landing. The plane's fuselage had caught fire but has since been extinguished with other passengers evacuated. Flights are being diverted after the accident, which the Transport Ministry says was caused by a rough landing. Well, that's it on the news on Wake Up Nigeria for today.
Thank you for staying with us this morning. Now we have tech and book chat at the same time together. And I have Confidence Stavely, who is an IT expert who majors in cybersecurity, business development executive, and author of the book No Go Fall Magao. Now, this book is Africa's first Storified Cybersecurity Handbook. And you'd get to understand how important this book would be to you. It's a handbook, something that you can refer to, not just something you read and get past. And we're going to talk all about that. It's great to have you. Confidence.
you.
AKA CC Nerd.
You're
welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
I have just gone through the chapters in this book and I am blown away. This is something, like you said, it's a handbook. Before we go into looking at the book, what necessitated the need to get this book out?
Okay, so there's been so many books, so many channels have been used to sort of create awareness about cybersecurity, especially as relates to fraud. But they've taken the more prescriptive approach. So don't do this, don't click on that link, don't, very prescriptive. And I find that, maybe that's not also making it relatable for people who are not necessarily in the tech space to understand why they shouldn't take certain actions. And so I also looked at it from the angle of storytelling is a very strong tool. In fact, we buy from brands because we buy into their stories. So we also remember stories. I don't know about you, but stories I was told at 5, I still remember them.
Exactly.
I remember stories that's very strong, basically. So I thought of merging the power of storytelling to drive the kind of education I'd like to see about cybersecurity, because then it's relatable, it's entertaining, so you want to just read those stories. It's also very sticky. So while you might not necessarily remember steps around why you shouldn't do what we say you shouldn't do, but you might remember the whole story, and then it's sticky, and then habits are built over time. Right. So that's the reason why storytelling was leveraged, to make it more relatable, cybersecurity generally, less techy, but basically drives home the point.
Less techy, because last time you were here, man, you had so much information, and everybody was like, look, I need to get it down, but I love your angle which you're taking today. So let's start. You had chapter 1 says, bad things happen to good people. What's the story behind that? What is that chapter talking about?
Okay, so in the book we have generally 4 chapters, and the chapters are more like sections in the book, and then we have the stories grouped. So we have 20 stories in total. They are so entertaining. They're sprinkled with Nigerian humor. So you read them and smile half the time, or you would see yourself in the stories. So
relatable.
So it's very relatable. So bad things happen to good people is the chapter that puts together stories that are around things that could happen to hardworking people. We have stories in that chapter that talks about
I thought I was
giving my kids a future, which is the outcome was not income. Things that business people can generally relate to. Everything looked right until it wasn't. Again, it's a chapter that's really tied towards how businesses might be exposed to cybercrime.
Okay, let's pick out one lesson from that first chapter. From these stories, I say about 4 or 5 stories here. Alerts, not alert, high phone. What lessons for cyber against cyber fraud can we pick out from that particular chapter?
Okay, for starts, this chapter talks about a bit of advanced ways that people could steal your credentials, like your login information. One of the ways we've looked at in this book is you're sent an email, there's an attachment that looks like it's just a Microsoft Word document, but it's not. It's actually a way, it's a file that has been created to steal your login information or to install malicious software. So install harmful code on your computer that gives the bad guys, let me put it that way, the bad guys access to your computer, or that gives them access to monitor everything you type on your computer. So which makes it easy for people to steal your data. So again, people think about fraud general around here like only the calls, but trust me, there's a lot that goes on via email. There's a lot that goes on, on other channels that cyber criminals can leverage. So this chapter talks about how they happen, but in a way that you can totally relate and understand.
I love that. Those kind of mails that you see, you are the 1,000th visitor, one thing.
Yeah.
And they just put set top 1 million, and make it look professional, and then send it out there, and then you fall maga. Like the book says.
No go for maga.
No go for maga. Okay, so chapter 2, times have long changed. We have what could have been versus what was. It was all good just yesterday, literally cashless. The one that never happened, nightmare on Ended streets. I like that.
So
I like that. Okay.
This particular one talks about, it basically shows, the chapter shows transition of time and how things change for people when they make certain bad decisions. So one of the stories is about what could have been versus what was. So this talks about a student in school who was influenced by another student that was basically driving the best of cars in school, and I was wondering how he was making all of the money, and then he found out that he was, doing
Fraud. Was involved in online fraud.
And then for this particular example, it's a real-life example that's actually happened in Nigeria, where the FIRS is being impersonated to trick people into downloading harmful software on their computers.
Wow.
So we have seen this particular, most of the stories here are semi-fiction or full real-life stories.
Full real-life stories.
Yes, so these are examples that we've just changed the names or situations around them, storified it all, and then put it out there. So yeah, this one talks about how that person followed suit with his friend, but he wasn't lucky. He got arrested, you know, when the case was investigated, and it was found that they found a lot more information about him than he would have loved to, and they of course took it up, and he was arrested. So he ended up behind bars, and that's why you can see the image there, is somebody behind bars.
Okay,
so what we have also really done with this book is we've used a lot of pictures. So it's not, you'll find every book, every page in this book is colorful, because there's a lot of pictures, there's a lot of illustrations.
I like that.
Yes.
You know, because techie stuff can be boring at times.
Yes,
you know,
I can totally relate
yeah,
to
you
that.
could. So, but it's something that everybody needs. So we have to find a way to get it out to people in a way that they can learn. And pictures, pictures speak 1,000 words. Wonderful, wonderful. Chapter 3 says you can't be too careful. That's a life lesson. You can't be too careful. Better safe than sorry.
Exactly.
You know. So what's
you know
that
how we
chapter all
Nigerians
about?
always feel we are so woke, but inside the wokeness, we are still falling maga. Hello.
As in, like one can be very, very magnified and all of that. So yes, it's true.
So we cannot be too careful. I always say that people should exercise a healthy level of paranoia. So if I'm saying that, say for example, if somebody gives you a call, don't take the person's information, or don't take the fact that the person knows A, B, and C about you to mean that the person is genuine. So basically process whatever you hear with paranoia at the back of your mind. That you would assess, okay, what this person is saying, is this person true? What I know before this person called me, or before this person said this, does it match up? Does it add up? So for example, your banker said, do not give XYZ information. The fact that somebody knows your BVN does not mean you should give your CVV, which the banker said you shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
So you would need to basically take what you already know and always use that as a litmus test.
Your CVV, by the way, the 3-number security behind your card, which once they get to that one, Ogbeni, they've gone. You get a lot, right? Wonderful. Chapter 4 says before you hit the next button. That's the final chapter there. But you know, something I also love about this book, I see activities.
Yes.
Let's just leave that chapter, but you have to get the book. We'll talk about how to get the book. But activities, so what are those activities about?
So again, these are stories, so we want to make sure that you have picked up what we want you to pick up on.
Okay.
And we also want to put in some other things that might not necessarily be fully explained in the book.
Okay.
So what we have done is we have put together games. Again, we've taken the full range of creative efforts into making these things something that an everyday person will find interesting to do, yes. So we've put in games, so there's a crossword puzzle, for example.
Wow.
We've put in infographics, so we're explaining certain things and certain concepts that help you become more cyber safe.
Wonderful,
you know,
wonderful. All right, so how do we get this book? I know it's an ebook, and then there's a hard copy expected. How do we get this book?
Okay, so you have to visit our website, www.nogoformaga.org /book. No Go for Maga is spelled NOGOFALL. MAGA.
As it is,
nogoformaga.org /book. And
that's
the way you can.
That's the way you can get it. The hard copy is also coming, right?
Yes, the hard
so
copy
online, the e-copy is not going to be full before you go and pirate the thing. You just see tidbits, and then the hard copy will be out by next week, and all of it will be available.
Yes.
It's a handbook, something that you can always refer to for cybersecurity. Thank you so much, Cicined.
Thank you
It's
very
always
much
good having you.
me,
Thank you. All right, so yeah, that's it. No Go for Maga. We'll take a break now. When we get back, of course, Titi has been going all ooh. Titi, we'll be here when we get back.
Welcome back. Now we've been joined by the very, very handsome singer, model, fashion designer, and reality TV star, a former Big Brother Africa housemate, Tayo Faniron. Now he's here to talk to us about his journey after Big Brother Africa and what he's been up to since then. Welcome. Welcome. Yes, we've been waiting for you since we started the show.
You have been waiting.
Okay, I've been waiting.
Don't make it about two of us. I'm just
She's been in denial.
So you were not waiting for me?
No. Titi is on another level of waiting. I've been expecting our last guest. Titi has been waiting for Tayo.
Yeah, so there's, there's quite a few people that just stand out in the modeling industry, and
Yeah.
you were definitely one of them.
Thank you.
And it was really, really impressive how you were able to just keep staying in the limelight, you know. Yeah, so we were modeling from back in the day, like way back. So that's why I'm all like that. I can do that because it's style. I can.
Yeah.
But I did read that you did start the clothing line because of how you were addressed as a kid.
Yes.
In school.
Oh, okay. All right. Who told you that?
I did read.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
how has that been for you?
It's been amazing. My fashion line, you
Yes.
know, what you were talking about, what you just mentioned now happened when I was in the secondary school. I didn't come from a home where I could afford that much luxury of going to a boutique to buy stuff.
Yeah.
So I would save from my own pocket money, you know, feeding money, and then I would be able to buy fabrics during social activities at school.
Okay.
And then I had my own tailor, and then I would, you know, come up with something creative and to make me stand out.
Yeah.
So when I'm dressed up, I'll look good. They won't be able to know the price of what I'm wearing. But some of them will still mock us and say, "You're wearing Taylor Laurent," you know. But thank God,
Taylor Laurent.
yeah, Taylor Laurent, yeah. But thank God, Taylor Laurent is now paying. You know, it's paying off. Yeah.
Okay. It is, but the line is still like very relevant today, and you're coming out with new stuff all the time. But you're still going back and forth, South Africa, Nigeria.
That used to be the case, but not at the moment. I'm back home right now.
Oh, welcome home.
Thank you. So I'm back home now. I'm living in Lagos on the island.
Don't give us your house address as well.
Why did you put that island part?
No,
there?
I'm just, in case you want to book me, you know, in case you want to book me or people are looking for me, they know where to find me, you know.
Ojodu Beggar.
Well, you can still, but it's people on the island, you know, are most likely to see me anywhere. It could be inside traffic, it could be maybe from a restaurant or whatever, you know, because that's my hood now. That's my, you know, that's where I, you know, do everything now, you know. So I'm back home and it's been amazing. Also moving back home has made it easier for me in terms of my fashion business. Because everything that I sell today, my shoes that I'm wearing right now, my pants, my shirt, my hat, everything is Tire Fanuro, you know. And I've been able to achieve most of these things through the help of, I'm the creative designer, I design and everything, but I make use of people's talents when it comes to the tailors, the shoemakers, you know. So I'm open to some collaborations as well, you know. So it's all about taking Africa forward. We'll start from home first.
If I'm not mistaken, now there was a video that went viral, was it last year or the year before, of you in SA? I'm not sure whether you were stopped by SA police or not, or what happened. Do you remember that video? You're looking.
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah. So it went viral. It went viral, and it was. I was hoping you would talk a little bit about that.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, when I just got to Nigeria and I used to use Uber, you know, I would get into an Uber and a driver would just look at me and be like, well, bro, aren't you that guy that... So that incident became something that people remember me for. Again, I'm apart from Big Brother Africa. So everywhere I go to, people ask me these questions, what happened and all that. It was a day that I would not want to remember for the bad stuff, but I would always love to remember it so I can be grateful to God, you know. It was such a traumatizing event in my life that I don't ever wish for anybody to happen. It was what you saw on TV, on everything that went viral, you know. I was brutalized, and well, if I choose to nurse it too much, it will break me, but I've chosen to move on from it. Does it affect me a little bit? Yeah. You know, when I got to Nigeria, even at some point, I used to be paranoid when I saw uniformed men. I only felt safe in America because I thought, like, you know, where the system works, you know, even though stuff like that still happen anywhere, you know, I had to, like, talk myself out of it that, okay, you need to calm down. Not every cop is out there to attack you or whatever, you know, but I thank God that I'm alive today and it's history, you know, but I did it for a cause. I was doing a movement on Say No to Xenophobia, for which I also did a song in 2015 titled Say No to Xenophobia. And I pushed the movement last year so much that that happened, you know, it almost, thank God it didn't cost me my life, you know, and I'm here to tell the story as well. Yeah.
So is that part of what informed your decision to come back home?
Well, there's no smoke without fire, right? So I wouldn't say it's not a part of it. So after that stuff happened, I was getting calls from people, you know, even fans on social media, come back home, come back home, come back home. And, you know, when people choose to care for you, you have to cherish that. You know, what if nobody cares about me, you know? So I had to listen to people. But maybe I was not going to come back to Nigeria. Maybe I wasn't going to come back to Nigeria. Yeah, so I went to America for about a month. I spent a week in like 4 different cities in search of a new settlement, you know. I loved ATL and LA so much, you know, and Los Angeles so much. But when I was there, I went with a backpack of mine that I designed. It's a mixture of leather and Adire fabrics.
Oh, great.
And I was always carrying it because it's orange color and so beautiful and cool, you know?
Yeah.
And that bag was always getting me attention. Like, people would be like, excuse me, I love this bag. And I'll be like, yeah, I made it. The moment they hear my accent, the next thing becomes, oh, excuse me, where are you from? I'm in Nigeria. The moment I said Nigeria, they had so much to say about Nigeria. Good things, you know. They would talk about movies. They would talk about music. They would talk about, so it was just Nigeria, Nigeria, Nigeria. Then I was thinking that, okay, I think going back home is what I need right now, you know, because what makes me stand out anywhere I go to is the Nigerianness in me, you know. So let me go back home and cook it even, you know, get.
Nice.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Good to have you back.
Yeah.
We'll take you. I mean, even though you went to ATL first, we will take you. We Nigerians will take you.
Wow. Okay. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I can go to wherever if I want.
Yeah.
And this is home as well. Anytime I'm home, this is home. But even when I was not living in Nigeria, Nigeria has never left me, you know.
Wow.
If you can't meet me for a minute. In fact, from seeing me, you know I'm in Nigeria.
Your bribe worked before giving you. Welcome back.
But the bribe was not enough for me. So to bribe me now, can we see that 6-pack?
Oh my days. No,
yeah.
That was a joke. No. We will have you do.
Why did you stop him?
We will have you do that.
But you were not waiting for me, so.
Yeah, that's why I'm protecting myself.
Thank you so much for joining us, though.
Thanks for having me.
We have Chef Nathaniel in the kitchen.
Yeah, we're going to rip off that 6-pack. You go home.
Let's do it.
Let's
food is good. All right. Should I come too?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. All right.
As in, Tokwe, why did you stop him?
I protected us all.
Why did you stop him? He was about to show us. Why?
I have one word for you guys.
I
have one word for you guys.
What?
Shameless.
Shameless.
Wow. I was. Wow.
Don't worry, bro.
Without
let me share your space with you, just for a minute.
Take a seat.
All right. Nice one. In my own kitchen.
Yeah.
All right.
Well
Chef
done,
Nathaniel
Chef.
has been hard at work. So, Chef, please talk to us about what we have
So
here.
today's meal is Natidos taco. It's a kind of Mexican dish, but with my own recipe. So it's basically taco shells, fried egg, egg sauce, and minced meat and plantain.
A
fried
lot of
pepper
things.
with bell peppers, cilantro, and barbecue sauce.
Ooh.
Is there locust beans too?
Nice. All right. So,
Please have a taste.
Should I?
Yes. All right. You can start from anywhere.
All right.
And
so tell us what you think.
Mike.
Okay. I'll be honest though.
Yeah.
Even though I met your mom, you know, while waiting, but.
Okay.
Oh, that's so crunchy.
That's the crunch roll.
Yeah.
I feel like I tasted it.
Pay me for the ad.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it actually did look like an advert just now. That was very weird.
Yeah, but it's tasty, you know, very delicious.
Yeah.
Well done.
That's
Well
Latino
done,
for you.
Chef. Good job. We're going to start rounding off the show now. A big thank you to Homely NG for the kitchen accessories.
Thank you so much to everyone who was a part of the show today. We appreciate you. And tomorrow is Friday.
Game day.
I like that.
That was my line.
Don't worry, you've done it so many times.
We've taken over that line from you. Anyway.
Over to the live band, people. Standing by for us.